What's up, everybody? Many of you may not know this, but I've been running this YouTube channel for just about 3 years now. And throughout that entire time, I've been doing that from right here in this office. But all of that is about to change, and I'm about to show you something that I've never showed on this channel before. Ready? Let's dive in. So what is this big change that I'm talking about? Well, there are two big changes that I'm referring to. Number one, I have a podcast now. And for about 800 of you, you already knew that I had a podcast before, but that one is gone now and it is changing. I have a brand new podcast now called Financial Heresy, and this is not just repurposed YouTube videos. This isn't just the audio from these YouTube videos. On this new podcast, it's an iHeartRadio podcast, one episode per week, and they're about 45 minutes long each. And so because it's a longer form content, we get to go really in depth onto topics that I've wanted to talk about on this channel, but for the most part, when you're limited to 10 to 15 minute episodes, you really can't go in depth into some of these things. And so it restricts you from being able to talk about some other things. And so on this new podcast, if you listen to podcasts, it's going to be on the iHeartRadio app. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere, that you get your podcasts. So if you're interested in longer form, just audio, check that out. Okay. And then second, like I said earlier, I've been in this office for the entire life of this YouTube channel. And if you've been around from the beginning, there's very few of you, but I know who you are. Some of you have been around and watching these videos from the very beginning. Number one, they were terrible. But number two, they looked bad too. And so I used to have, a bunch of different things set up in here. And I'd like to kind of give you a glimpse of the other side of the camera, my POV in here, because it's all about to change. So hang on with me because I'm about to show you something that I've never put on YouTube before. First, we're going to zoom out here and you can see it doesn't look as good as it does when it's zoomed in. Now, I know it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting, but this is typically what I'm looking at, that tripod there where I normally have the camera and then all my lights to light up my shiny, reflective, bald head. And then, of course, laptops and iPads and everything for my notes and stuff that I'm looking at during the filming. And then behind me, I have the setup that I obviously have showing on screen, but it's really just my computer where I do all my work throughout the day. Now, in just a moment, I am going to do a little bit of a teardown video here to show you the takedown. And we're also going to go over to the new studio. I'm going to show you kind of the plan to build it out. So don't worry, this won't be a multi-part series here. I'm going to try and pack all the footage in that I can. But I did want to give you guys a heads up on this because number one, the look is going to be changing. And number two, I really wanted to thank you guys because for many of you, I know I'm probably just some guy on the internet that explains some things that are going on in the economy with, fiscal policy, monetary policy in a way that's a little bit easier to understand than maybe some other people explain it. But for me, this has been something that I'm extremely grateful for that I get to do for a living, that I get to do for a job, because I think it is vital for people to be able to understand how money works. I've said this a couple of times here, but the reason why I do what I do is because I think people need to understand how money works so that they can make more, keep more, and give more. That's a twist on something that John Wesley said. He said, earn all you can, save all you can, and give all you can. The driving factor behind it is that what people do is create and produce. We have that creative gene, and by I say creative, I don't just mean like art and music. I mean the ability and the drive to create things, which is stuff, goods and services. It's wealth. And so to create beauty, to create wealth, to create stuff, to create luxury, to create abundance out of scarcity, that is what people do. And so I truly believe that if you want to be able to do that more, which I think the more we can do that, the better off this world will be, you have to understand how kind of the machine works. Because if you don't understand how that machine works, you're not going to be able to be as effective as doing that. You have to understand kind of like what the rules of the game are. And once you know what the rules of the game are, then you can play by the rules and you'll start to win. And that's why I do what I do. And so I've been extremely grateful for all of you who have been, just watching my videos, because that's allowed me to do this and to kind of spread the message and help out more and more people with creating more and more wealth. Now, I say make all you can because that's the first part, it's creating more wealth. But I also say keep all you can because it kind of goes back to the old debate about whether you should increase your income or cut your expenses to be financially responsible. And that's why I say keep all you can, because that shows that there are two sides of the same exact coin. If you want to be able to build wealth, you have to keep more wealth. And so it doesn't matter just how much money you make, because we all have heard all the stories about the professional athletes and the movie stars and the people who win lotteries who are bankrupt a few years later after having, a massive amount of money. So it's not just about how much you make, but it's also not just about how much you save, because somebody making $30,000 a year can't save their way to wealth. You've got expenses. So it's about how much you keep. And so it's both making more and it's also saving more. It's the difference between the two. The bigger that difference can get, the more wealth you can create. And then finally, I think it's vitally important that we give. That's the purpose. That's the reason to create. It's for the good of other people, not to be selfish, but to be selfless. And so quite literally, for every YouTube video of mine that you watch, I'm extremely grateful for, because that allows me to spread that mission and that purpose and the information and the knowledge to help people do all those three things more. And now I'm moving on to the next phase, where I won't be here anymore, moving into a new studio, and should be sick, should look cool, should allow me to do a little bit better quality videos for you guys. But wanted to say thank you right now before I show you the rest and what these videos will look like moving forward into the future. All right, let's tear it down.
Well, this is where the magic has happened for the last couple of years. We are all packed and ready to go. So let's go check out the new place. All right, we're currently in the new studio here. As you can see, we've got a lot of work to finish building this out. My little man has been helping me out, getting this thing built. And videos are gonna look different. We'll be filming from very weird places for the next couple of weeks, because having a ton of issues getting internet put in here, which I didn't realize was gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna be filming from a bunch of different locations for the next couple of weeks. So just heads up for all of you who are wondering what's going on. Oh, and also I would love to show you what this place looked like before. Take a look at this picture right here. And from the other angle, this is literally like a Guantanamo Bay torture prison area. This is how we had to soundproof it here. And so just wanted to show you guys that, because it looked so crazy before it turned into this. So anyway, that is all. Just wanted to share with you guys the journey here. We left the old place. We're in the new place, getting it all set up for you. It'll be a few weeks of a little bit of a weird setup for the videos, but I'll continue to do what I do, and really appreciate every single one of you who watches and allows me to do this and make these kind of videos about how money works, because I truly believe that the more people who understand how money works, the wealthier they will be, and the more wealthy people we have, the better this world will be. So keep on at it. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.